Alright, we're ready. Welcome everyone to this final day of the Cup of Beer 6 tournament. We are starting off with the bronze match between Carnage and StriKeR. And afterwards we will have the finals streamed by Sahib between Iri and Zerton. So it's been a few weeks of tournament. It's finally coming to an end. Thanks a lot to all our donators and casters and organizers. Let's get straight into this game. So we have a Greek against Celts here. Carnage is playing as Greeks. StriKeR playing as Celts. He's opening with a barracks from the looks of it. We're here on equal footing, which is the most standard map. Some would say the most balanced map. It's a good map to start a finals with or a third place match. Usually the spawns are very fair, people have enough hunts. I could quickly check if there's a hunt. So here Carnage has a back hunt. Actually, guess you could call this a back hunt as well. StriKeR also lots of resources. Looks like his hunts are a bit further out. But then again he's playing the Celts, so he's less likely to be the defender. So as always, if you guys could give me some feedback on the sound, I could make some adjustments. But I kept the same settings as last time, so it should be fine. Very nice steal here by Carnage, setting the tone. Oh, and StriKeR actually committing a villager to saving these sheep. Actually, this is a lot of lost gathering time for these villagers. And is Carnage going to lose his scout over this? Carnage did have to rush in, maybe wasn't quite warmed up. Looks like he was getting back from dinner or something and didn't play a practice game before this.
Ahura Master bless you.
Carnage says, let me remove the chat hider. I just saw Carnage in the chat saying, where's my scout? So the rules of the tournament are that players can restart within 2 minutes of the game, and we're already almost 3 minutes in, so it's unfortunate for Carnage, but it looks like he will lose his scout off the bat. StriKeR moving in with a spearman.
Ahura Master bless you.
Thanks for all the follows, guys. Welcome to the stream. StriKeR moving in on the hunt. There's lots of spearmen for Carnage to defend. Does not have his scout to see where the spearmen are coming from, but looks like he will still be able to defend nicely. And if you look at Carnage's resources, he could almost go to H2 right now if you would want to. And there he goes. So once he hits H2, we will have access to the high pass pit, which is a counter infantry unit. So it will counter these spearmen. The other side of the map, StriKeR also going to H2. He's gathering lots of stone for a second town center. So is Carnage. So standard play until now. Yeah, Carnage just might be blackout drunk. That's a good point, Zerton. So this is actually the second tournament in a row that Carnage and StriKeR meet in the bronze match. Last tournament, Beerix Brawl, they also met, and it was a very close series. It looks like every time StriKeR and Carnage meet, it gets closer and closer. Before, Carnage was able to easily beat StriKeR, but last time it was 3-2. So let's see if StriKeR can make something happen this time around. So far his rush is not really working out. See, Carnage has a very nice spot here for his town center. A nice 2-4-1. StriKeR also getting his town center. It will be a little bit later it seems, but nothing, no big difference. Looks like Carnage is one villager down though. Maybe StriKeR did kill one. I might have missed that. music is alright. Alright, it's good to know. So both players taking a very defensive second town center. Carnage, oh, looks like these infantry from the top are able to deny this archery range and go into the wood line. Ooh, this villager is also going down, so pressure from StriKeR is starting to work. And Carnage has to move out of his base to go for this food source here. He does have those high pass I was talking about. But he has a wood line in the front, so this makes his base a bit more difficult to defend. And StriKeR is coming in from both sides. And while these infantry units are distracted here on the right, looks like they will have to hurry back. StriKeR slightly ahead in the villager count. He's coming in again from the right. Oh, another barracks going down. He's just finding the best timing so far. Great start for StriKeR. And here are 5 longswordsmen and only 2 high pacifists. Actually, yeah, 2 more coming. StriKeR very nicely keeping a spearman here on this right hunt. He's finally able to get up the military buildings that he wanted. It looks like StriKeR went for double archery range behind this, so maybe some slinger kiting. StriKeR retreating his army, regrouping everything. Lots of slingers being pumped out now. And so Carnage will play a more barracks heavy composition, I want to say, but he's adding the second archery range now. Keep in mind that he did lose his scout, so he does not know that StriKeR may be going a bit heavier on the slingers. He did not open with 2 barracks, which is something we sometimes see. Very nice micro here, distracting the 3 high pacifists with 1 longswordsman. That's just micro, buddy. And Greeky pointing out in the chat that StriKER's playing really well. And I agree. Still slightly ahead in the villager count.
Ahura Mazda bless you.
Sup Frau. So this hunt got denied and looks like Carnage is just giving up on it. He's building a nice wall here, but he is making a very compact base. Deciding not to go for any series, which are the anti-ranged cavalry units, which would be nice against all these slingers. And I like how StriKeR is, once again, it's become his signature move to make the Sacred Grove and go for the buffed Sacred Deer, which you can gather food from. He also got hunting dogs earlier, so these are also affected by hunting dogs. So I guess they received another buff in the latest patch. Okay, we can check what hunting dogs does now.
Ahura Mazda
Giving the
bless.
conservation now. Subsaduk. So the population looking quite equal. StriKeR looking to go for some more pressure, but he's going to H3 behind this. So I'm not sure if he wants to fully commit here and maybe just distract Carnage and prevent him from going for a timing push while he goes to H3 and goes for those bowmen. I think that's what he's after. Going for a big ranged ball. It looks like Carnage will push out anyway. StriKeR rushing to get home. He did get H3, so it looks like Carnage just decided to move in upon seeing StriKeR reach the third edge. And he's completely blind about StriKeR's base so far. This will be his first sight of those archery ranges. And StriKeR's base is very compact. Actually, there's a gap here. I'm not sure if Carnage wants to take advantage of that. Either way, StriKeR is migrating his whole woodcutting force. And this is a very nice defensible position for StriKeR. He's getting shield rim as well. Very nice going for a right. So sacrificing one of those deers so that all his buildings train 20% faster. Which will provide a boost to his economy, but also to his military. So it looks like Carnage not quite able to punish StriKeR yet for going for this fast H3. But it's not over yet from the looks of it. StriKeR transitioning into some third edge units. The horsemen we see. There's some Woad Raiders here. This looks like it's a much better position for Carnage to be pushing in. He's 37 Toxotes here. I think he also got some armory upgrades. He only got the shield rim so far, so pierce resist. Once he gets the barbed arrows upgrade, army DPS will increase considerably. Very nice town center here in the corner by StriKeR. Will be very nice for a market line later on. Let's see what Carnage's plan is. His resources are stacking up a little bit. Does he have an academy or anything? Doesn't look like it. He is transitioning into a lot of series. So far only just the one in his main army. I think Carnage will be going up to the third edge as well. Maybe getting some champion upgrades for his units before going for another push. He does have StriKeR confined to his base right now. Very nice, distracting StriKeR's army in the north a little bit while pushing in on the other side. He could snipe this armory maybe. Looks like there's no exposed villagers here on the left side. Carnage on his way to the third edge as well. Eerie is saying, does Carnage think he's Greeky or what, saying for in H2 for so long? So he's going up finally. There is a slight delay on the stream, so I'm talking to you from the future. Can't afford... Can only afford only one champion upgrade, so maybe Toxotes champion is what he will go for. Yeah, there he goes. So these 53 Toxotes. Actually Hyper champion is very cheap as well. Decides to fight before that, but his army is looking very strong compared to StriKeR's. He did decide to stop producing villagers a lot earlier than StriKeR, and this is a very nice trade with those slingers StriKeR's getting. But yeah, StriKeR actually 20 villagers ahead, so his army is a bit smaller, but he can get a lot of upgrades and afford more stuff in general for a while. But this means that the army for Carnage is absolutely huge. It's a 110 population of Greek army. StriKeR not able to get a nice position here with his Woad Raiders. And, it's looking good for Carnage. StriKeR did get up this fort in the meantime, so Carnage will have to back away from this position. course, these small trades are in favor of StriKeR because he can replace his army more easily, having more villagers. This is a very nice place fortress, even hitting units that pass through the choke. And it will be very difficult for Carnage to take down a fortress because most of his units are dealing pierce damage. The Greeky makes a nice point in the chat. I would like to see some more World Raider flanks or more raiding in general from StriKeR. He is playing the Celts. There goes some horsemen. And Carnage actually made a siege workshop back at home. That will help against the fort. Seri count is growing very large. Here come the Seri. Looks like they're scared away by that one auger. You wouldn't want to get converted. Carnage actually built this 3 town centers very close to each other, so this will be a bit more difficult to get a nice market route later on. And here come the Seri for the flank. The bowmen are all exposed. Looks like they are here in time, and Carnage just has so many more units. Oh, and the Seris are hitting their direct counters. Oh, I think he could have gotten a bit more from there. A very nice trade for Carnage once again. Still sitting around the 70 villager mark. StriKeR actually up to 100 villagers, and he can afford H4 right now. Carnage actually not that far away from H4 as well. And I don't think there's anything StriKeR can do here. He's going H4, I think. Let's see what he's going for. Is he adding any military buildings? Yeah, he's adding some stables, so it looks like he will be going for those Carpentums. He doesn't have the gold for Carpentum Champion yet, which is kind of a must. There's a scary push coming. The Seri are scouting around here. I don't think he saw the markets quite yet. No, nor the wall. Let's quickly check the upgrades. So Carnage getting his 6th upgrade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and StriKeR only has 5, so pretty equal in the upgrades. It looks like Bowman Champion is actually what StriKeR will go for. He thinks he may not have enough time to transition into a lot of Carpentums. So we will get extra range on his 42 Bowman here. The Seris are trying to flank through the SimCity of StriKeR, but without success. And somehow some of the rams died. Actually, one ram is derping here. Still, these rams will be a problem, I think. Carnage finding the economy of StriKeR instead. StriKeR confined to this very small space. He still has the 100 villagers. And that's a lot of villagers dying there on the left side. I don't think it matters that much, given how many he has. Interestingly, no market line yet for Carnage. These markets have been idle for StriKeR as well. Some horsemen will clean up these Seris. And there's the Carpentum Champion. And Carnage, I think he's anticipating it. I saw him get Sarah for a champion. Where is his stables? Here we go. So it will all be about how well Carnage can catch the Carpentums. And I guess as well as the horsemen. Here we see the Carpenters. So very fast moving. They have a bonus against ranged. They have massive DPS. They're a very strong unit. I think the interesting thing about this game is that we're 20 minutes in and there's no market line for both sides. I guess they're trying to go for the same position here. Yeah, Carnage knows now about this one market at least. But going to make it a bit more important to control those gold mines. There's still a lot of gold mines on the map though, so I don't think either player will be running into gold problems soon. Actually, Carnage is sitting at 0 gold as we speak. Actually, Carnage has a gold problem. He may not have scouted... Oh no. StriKeR pushing in, he's using the damage right. Very nice timing here on the right. His army is looking a bit small though. Oh, here comes the Seri flank. There's only 5 Carpenters here. And this is looking very good for Carnage in terms of position. There's 14 hoplites tanking all the pierce damage. And the damage right is just not enough. But Carnage, he has to sort his gold problem. Yeah, he's going for gold here. He's scouting the gold with the sheep over here. And he did not scout his gold on the left side because he lost his scout early on. Let's look at StriKeR's gold situation. He has the gold mine here. There's another gold mine here. He's getting his caravan line going. Finally. But this position, both players are making a claim on this position, I guess. Never mind. StriKeR deciding to go for somewhere else. Here. Right, so he does have a market line right now. 66. Carnage still in the third age. He's pushing in now. And looks like StriKeR is not able to get a nice Carpentum count just yet. Actually, that's 18 Carpentums, never mind. This Carpentum count is getting out of control and the series for Carnage are killing a watch post on the left side. Fortress is sitting at 4 HP. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, so Carnage making a lot more series. Still that 20 villager difference. And now StriKeR is actually getting this gold mine on the left side, and looks like he will be able to get away with that. Well, the series are on top of the Carpentums. I think Carnage needs to mass a lot more series before being able to take on 16 Carpentums. Let's see, he does have a lot of stables, but he is very down in population. He's still having that gold problem. Actually, I think those Carpentums that came back, they denied the gold gathering here on the right side. So Carnage, he is able to sell some resources that he has stocked up in the bank, which he's doing right now, but he needs to secure a gold mine. Oh, looks like those caravans of him actually scouted the gold mine on the left side. There's markers everywhere. And the party is over for StriKeR. StriKeR getting some nice upgrades that he's able to afford, having the larger villager count. So this is a massive upgrade and will greatly improve his horseman Carpentum army. He's getting H4 army upgrades as well. And look at this army, 16 horsemen, 16 Carpentums. These villagers are not safe here. One of the downsides of the Greek army is that their units, or their army tends to be relatively slow. Ooh. Small miss micro there by StriKeR running his army through Carnage, losing a few units. But Carnage is able to survive and get his gold situation sorted. That's a lot of caravans that are there right now. Very nice. No walls yet or anything, or fortresses to defend them. So he's pretty much open to these horseman raids. But if you look at StriKeR's queue, he's just getting so many more upgrades. It's looking like it won't be long until StriKeR has a strong upgrade lead. And keep in mind he's also 1 H ahead. Horseman champion in Q as well now. Carnage's army actually looking pretty nice as well. He's only missing the melee resist from the 3rd edge. Very nice push here by StriKeR. Able to walk in, and Carnage's army is very out of position and all the caravans are dying. Yeah, Greeky's probably like, why does he only have 8 hoplites? Yeah, and Carnage, I think he either needs to transition into lots of cav himself or just build some defenses to protect his market line and his other resources. He's sitting at 53 villagers, so he's maybe going for the big army once again. He comes with the Seri flank. There's 24 Seri here. They are champion. Oh, that's a nice catch. And I don't think StriKeR can take a stand-up fight. Both players fight with their complete army. It's in favor of Carnage, and it looks like he's forcing a fight here with max population. There's still a lot of carpenters here though, which StriKER's doing a very nice job keeping them alive. The caravans tank some hits, but that means that StriKER's army is staying alive. And Carnage's army is not. If you look at the population. Oh no, StriKER walling in the market. What a play. I love it. Finish the wall. Yeah, it's looking very good for StriKER. There are reinforcements coming in, but the carpenter count is just growing. And I think this may have been Carnage's last stand. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's going for the damage right, StriKER is. And I think that's the final nail on the coffin. Very nice. Well played by StriKER. He takes the lead in this series. Alright, so they already chose their civs and the next map, so we will have Mountain Crossing next and a Persia Mirror. So let's quickly get into these stats. So as we saw during this game, StriKER just had so many more villagers, and Carnage was not able to take advantage of having a larger military count. There was this one fight where he pushed in and he got a very nice trade, but was not able to finish the game there. I think he could have done a bit of a better job with his rams there. He did have the 3 rams, so he was doing everything right. StriKER getting a bit more. Attacks very even. Outer villagers, very nice. Both players staying on top of their outer villagers. Alright, let's get into the next game. The Ace saying in the chat that StriKER has found the weakness. Is this the tournament where StriKER finally breaks the old man? He has to win at least 2 more games, or he has to win 2 more games. So we're here on Mountain Crossing, both players picking Persia, and I have to note that this is the terrain set for which Carnage said that he doesn't like it, that it actually hurts his eyes. So, but keep in mind he could restart the game if he would want to. This is the, I think it's called the Tundra terrain set. So, as most of you know, Mountain Crossing, a map where both players spawn with a pond in the back of their base. And there's also the neutral pond, the middle pond. Let's check for some backdoor potential. We've recently seen lots of players build proxy docks, going for a dock in the other player's pond. So it looks like only on StriKeR side of the map Carnage has the potential to go for a proxy dock. So I'm hoping we're going to see that. We actually see fast barracks for Carnage, so very unorthodox. We almost always see players go for a fast dock, exactly like StriKeR did. And see StriKeR scout going around. He did not scout the barracks yet. Oh, he's coming back round. There we go. Right, so StriKeR scouting the barracks. He actually queues up another fishing boat. Could decide to go for a barracks of his own here. Let's see how he decides to handle this. There's already Sparrowbara in queue.
Ahura Mazda bless you.
Yo, Mr. Siho. Good to see you again. Okay, so StriKeR going for the 2 fishing boats, and now he goes for the barracks with a bunch of villagers. That's a lot of villagers building a barracks. It's almost like Give You Anxieties playing. Sparrowbara crossing the map. StriKER's building a nice wall here with those houses. Could go for a storehouse himself now and maybe get a tent. That would be good in his defense here. First Sparrowbara is already out actually, so he got away with going for that second fishing boat, and I think it's putting him ahead in this game. Carnage is only getting his dock up right now. There is a sneaky villager. Not sure what the plan here is. The middle pond is on the other side. I don't know. I think StriKeR thinks the middle pond is on the bottom side, but it's actually on the top side. So that's hilarious. So the fishing boat's helping to defend here. It's 5 Sparrowbara for Carnage. There's only the 3 for StriKeR. For a pretty nice defense. Carnage going for the villagers now. There's a villager going very low. StriKeR not running away with the villager. And Carnage getting a villager. So this rush starting to pay off. These fishing boats only really tickle these Sparrowbara because they have so much pierce resist. What is going on here? It's going very well for Carnage actually, this rush. All these villagers are idle. There is a tent now. It looks like StriKeR just kind of spread his fire across those Sparrowbara. I think he should have cleaned it up a bit more easily. He's out of food right now. These fishing boats are still idle. So not the best start for StriKeR here. He did find where the middle pond is. But he's not able to make villagers right now. He's actually down 3 villagers. And Carnage is already on his way to the second age. He's almost there. The ace is saying 2 villagers killed. So yeah, so there were 2 villagers killed, and also these fishing boats on which StriKeR was relying for his food, they were actually shooting. They helped defend the rush, but StriKeR had to idle his town center as a result. And Carnage is already getting his second town center up. Yeah, StriKeR's economy is really in bad shape. He got way too much wood to recover from this rush. He's going for a very early watch post. So StriKeR still in the first age. Looks like he will be able to go up right now. But he is able to pump out some fishing boats over here. No back doors yet. I'm still hoping for Carnage to run a villager here and build a dock over here. Yeah, StriKeR now has enough stone. Looks like this will be a nice position for a town center. He's actually going for some more stone. I think that's not an accident. Let's see what Carnage's plan is. There's no interest in the middle pond. He's going for the 1-1-1. One stable, one archery range, one barracks. And he's pulling ahead in the villagers, Carnage. 6 villagers ahead right now. I think it will be 7 or 8 even. Once this town center gets up, they will be able to produce at the same pace. Of course, fishing ships are a bit better than a villager. And there is an attempt to go for this middle pond. StriKeR is very smartly going for the fish at the other end of the pond, so he has complete vision of the pond. There is a small gap here though, but or a small, how do you call it? A place where StriKeR can't see. A blind spot. The villager is very sneakily trying to get up the dock. StriKeR did not notice yet. Can see, oh, there he goes. Sending over all his fishing boats. Yeah, and I think the fishing boats will be able to kill the villager before the dock is finished. And the back door potential is also over now with the house being here. Maybe the Asabara can kill the house and then the villager can come back. StriKeR still on the one barracks. He's adding another archery range now. He's going for a second archery range after that. And this is some next level play. Carnage anticipating StriKeR building the house here. This is like the meta developing, guys. Before people were building houses here to prevent proxy docks. Now people are raiding the houses being built there to prevent proxy docks. Oh, and the dock was actually not cancelled, so Carnage could come back. Oh, he's coming back. The madman. StriKeR has no idea. But he does have so many fishing ships though. But in the meantime, Carnage has been building so many military units. Look at all these buildings he has. StriKeR only just has the 2 archeries up. He's getting his stables now. His army is looking a lot smaller than Carnage, and Carnage is pushing in. The dock is... Okay, the dock is... for a second I thought it was almost not finished. And let's see where Carnage can push in. I think he knows about this position, right? Actually has no idea about the town center. We will now find out that there's actually a town center over here. Carnage very ahead in the population. And also almost 10 villagers ahead. The villager here is gone. Did it go? Should maybe stop hoping for a proxy dock. There's 14 villagers here, kind of idling. Because Carnage is pushing in here, but Carnage has to be careful here to not lose some units for free here. If he has all his units together, his army is so much bigger than StriKeR's. And this is a very good position for him, being able to held hostage 14 villagers. StriKeR making some galleys to defend the pond. I don't think Carnage built any galleys of his own. He's too busy checking for the villager. Carnage coming in with the flank with his other group of units. Ooh, he's sending all his units here in the middle. Still think Carnage just has a lot more units than StriKeR here. The bowmen are in a very bad position, dying to all the Asabara. There's 13 Asabaras here. I like how StriKeR's building some buildings to make some choke points. But he's down 50 population, and I'm not sure if he's able to hold this position or even the game. Carnage very nicely having StriKeR make 2 galleys. That's a lot of resources. Those resources could have been military units to defend this position. And it's looking very bad for StriKeR. There are some more units coming here. Is he giving up on this position? Look closely, he's doing a very nice job shooting the bowman with his town center. So that's very nice. But the town center will go down, it looks like. It's one desperate attempt to save it, but at this point StriKeR should probably back off or just resign altogether. So GG. Carnage bringing it back. 1-1, and we have a game on our hands. A series on our hands. Right, so both players, they fulfilled the requirement of the tournament that you have to play at least 2 civilizations, and they can play whatever they want from now on. So StriKeR able to pick the map. It's a very nice game. I like the place with the duck and coming back. I think it was mainly the early rush that really hurt StriKeR here. He had his duck up earlier. If you look here very early on, he had the villager lead, but then once the Sparabara rush hit, he lost some villagers, and then this long straight bar is where his town center was idle. And afterwards Carnage just had a bigger economy all game long. So looking at the total resources gathered, Carnage sitting at an 18,000 to only 15,000 for StriKeR. Here we have the Sparabara rush. And then at the end of the game, Carnage had the bigger economy, was able to build a bigger army, and he also had a nice move here, distracting StriKeR. Making StriKeR commit to 2 galleys. So the next map will be Treasure Island. Picked by StriKeR. By the way, StriKeR vetoed Arabia at the start of the series. Both players had the option to veto a map, but only StriKeR did. Right, guys, we're back. Welcome to Treasure Island, where we have the Treasure Island with the treasures to be explored. Both players going for the Celts. So we already saw StriKeR's Celts. He won game 1 with it and decided that on Treasure Island he wanted to play them again. So we have another mirror on our hands. Usually this matchup means a lot of longswordsmen in H2. Lots of raids, so I will have to try my best to find all the raids on the map. Keep an eye on the minimap for yourself as well. So we have the standard fast barracks for both players. StriKeR's build is a bit different, so he has it a bit earlier. So it's going to be interesting to see when players decide to go for a dock. But of course the food you can get from fishing boats, especially in this matchup, is very nice. So maybe let's get some predictions in the chat. We saw StriKeR win the game, we saw Carnage win the game. Who will win the series? Press 1 for Carnage and press 2 for StriKeR. Here come the spearmen for StriKeR. Carnage's scout is right here. Looks like he will just miss him. Ideally he'd have his scout hitting one of the spearmen to take a bit of damage off while they're moving across the map, to give him that slight advantage in defending. He does have the 4 spearmen at home now, and this barracks is actually outside of town center range. So in the scenario that StriKeR pushes Carnage off this position, he could also take the barracks. So I'm seeing some 1s, I'm seeing a 3. That was not part of the options. Looks like most people think that Carnage will be able to take this. He is a very strong Celt player. And his spear count is a lot higher than StriKeR's now. Carnage going for a dock, but the scout of StriKeR is right here. He's sending his spearman right over, but Carnage knows that as well. So we'll have a small battle here for this pond, will we? 9 spearmen for Carnage against the 8 for StriKeR. He's instead going for the villagers on the hunt. They have to evacuate here. So already some nice last gathering time here. It's only a few seconds, but still 6 villagers running for 6 seconds. That's already 1 spearman. StriKeR not going for a dock just yet. And instead he will have a faster town center. And now Carnage is on the attack. These villagers have to evacuate. So no major damage on either side, no villagers lost or anything. Here come the longswordsmen. Looks like StriKeR was not able to get his town center over here because he built a house there. So Has to build a storehouse in addition to the town center. Ooh, Carnage catching these units. He already has a longswordsman, but so does StriKeR. They have the exact same units now. It's going to come down to micro. Focusing down the units. Can't quite tell what's happening. StriKeR backing off. The longswordsman got sniped, so it looks like Carnage making the conscious decision to target the longswordsman. And now he's able to push StriKeR off this hunt, so very nice. He's taking some map control, he has the water as well. A slightly bigger unit count. I think the reinforcements are... where are they? Both players not really making that many units. They have some issue with their macro. StriKeR is struggling for food right now because he was relying on that hunt. He's forced to go on the berries now. Doesn't have the upgrade yet. It's all pretty good for Carnage. He's going for a standard Sacred Grove. See what Carnage is doing. We just saw him get up this town center here, which is very nice. Also for a market line later on. He's going for the triple barracks. He only has the one barracks up right now. He's coming in for the wood line. But there are two town centers here. I don't think Carnage wants to push in here. StriKeR is going for a dock now. Carnage had this scout on patrol here, very nice. Already scouted up out the dock. And building a swan ship from his own dock. So we will have a water battle. So it's going to be very intense for both players. Fighting on the water, fighting on the land, and managing their economy back at home. And keep in mind that there's also a heat wave going on in Europe right now. I'm from the Netherlands, both these players are from Germany. It's currently 28 degrees in my room, but I'm not even playing the game.
Master bless you.
So it's going to be tense. Oh, this one ship able to do some splash damage. Sup, Schneiderman. Looks like another German. So the swan ship for Carnage is returning back home. He does have the fishing boats to repair. He's getting a second one. Wouldn't be surprised to see both players adding more docks to have some more production. And of course you can dodge the arrows by moving from left to right. So StriKeR moving in with his infantry. Scout being pushed away. Might actually, by just the AI behavior, scout the longswordsman there. Looks like Carnage has more units here. StriKeR pushing him on both sides. Really, he has Carnage right now distracted in his base with his military units. It's a very nice move there. If you looked at Carnage's camera there, I was looking at his infantry. And now StriKeR is up one boat. There's the reinforcements coming. Villager kind of dead even. StriKeR is kind of emptying his queue right now. And a guard tower coming up, very nice. So these have a large multiplier against ships, so will help to defend Carnage's dock here. Ooh, but these villagers are all clumped up. Oh no! And 3 villagers die! Oh, very nice spotted. Nicely spotted by StriKeR. So now he takes the lead in the villager game. Let's see what's going on back home. So we have a bard hall for Carnage as well as an armory. He's getting some upgrades. I don't think StriKeR has the same thing yet. He's able to snipe all of the fishing boats. As well as some villager. There goes another one. So doing some nice damage with this swan ships. He's not making any more though. Let's see what his plan is. He's adding the armory right now. He's adding double Bard Hall. Very interesting. Yeah, I think Carnage, he already has one upgrade, I think. Yeah, he has the 5% more health for his infantry units. And he already has an army upgrade, so he has a big upgrade lead right now. Population is looking very equal. StriKeR moving out. But I don't think he wants direct confrontation with Carnage's army right now. At least not with his full army. Oh, this is a very nice catch though. Good reaction time by Carnage. Taking only a little bit of damage. Moving his entire army here now. And this upgrade for Carnage is just finishing. And also StriKeR does not have any druids here. So his units will move at 1 speed faster. So he is able to get out of here. I like how he's backing off here. What happened to the swan ships? So one swan ship is hiding here. So it looks like the water battle is on hold for now. And we're back to having raids everywhere. There goes the ship for StriKeR. He's moving once again with his units, but he doesn't have any druids yet. I don't think he has any druids at home as well. He's, I guess that's the downside of going for all these sacred deer. And Carnage going for the third edge. Which means that he will be able to get Longswordsman Champion. And get an even bigger upgrade lead. I think the raiding group for Carnage was cleaned up. And I think it won't be long until StriKeR realizes that he doesn't have any druids. Yeah, if you look at his units, some of his units are also damaged. So even though the numbers may look the same, Carnage's units are all at full HP. He has 9 druids. There's the Longswordsman Champion also. And StriKeR, of course, seeing that Carnage just hit the third edge. And he's deciding to push right now, but I don't think it's a good idea to go for a fight now. Actually, there was one druid finally, but it got sniped. Oh no. Yeah, there are some druids in the queue right now. Okay. So StriKeR catching up in the armory game at least. I think in terms of armory upgrades they're equal right now. I like these towers by Carnage. He knows he's one edge up and just has to hold on for now. He's getting also Gift of Sequana, upgrading his druids. Very nice. Greek is already calling the GG. I don't know, there's a very scary push from Carnage coming in right now. His upgrades are all done, he has the Longswordsman Champion and StriKeR is not even in H3 yet. He's almost there, but he does not want to fight here I think. I think he realizes that Carnage has the Longswordsman Champion. It's 58 Longswordsmen to the 68 for the StriKeR. Yeah, StriKeR, he knows he's down in upgrades, but he can also not lose these barracks here on the top. He's quickly building some more. He's taking a fight here. I mean, there are some town centers here to defend. And Carnage's units are a bit spread around. These druids are all hitting the town center, so not the best engagement for Carnage. Still 56 longswordsmen left. So StriKeR holding on. He needs some more gold though for that longswordsman champion. He desperately needs this upgrade. Yeah, Zerton pointing out that this is a very interesting situation with both players just not doing much with the water, but they both have a dock. Carnage doing some nice raids and getting that gold mine, that gold that StriKeR so desperately needed. Well, actually now he has enough for all these upgrades. He's getting some more Bartle upgrades, so he's catching up in the upgrade domain. He's missing his town center though. This third one, so he is capped at the 160 population to Carnage's 180. And the upgrade for StriKeR is not quite finished, but he is taking a fight here. Looks like the longswordsman champion will finish during the fight. And what is going on here? I think StriKeR may be taking this. Where are the druids for Carnage? They are still in the middle. And Carnage just has those better upgrades. Very close fight here though. Ultimately I think defenders advantage a bit there, helping StriKeR. But a very even trade I would say. StriKeR trying to build a gold mine here where Carnage already has a gold mine. He's trying to take the golds on the map. I mean, there's some gold on the treasure island. I mean, both players could make a merchant transport and go for it. So we have another big fight. Yeah, very equal here. Still a villager count 78 for StriKeR against the 83 for Carnage. So Carnage going up to an unusual amount of villagers. Usually 70 is the absolute maximum for him. I like how StriKeR is mixing in some rights again. But one important upgrade that Carnage has and that StriKeR doesn't have is this Gift of Sequana. 40% healing rate on the druids. But this army for StriKeR is looking a lot bigger than the army for Carnage. I guess there's some reinforcements here. And also the 3 swan ships are taking up some population. Ah, here we go, there's a raid. Once again, shutting down this gold gathering on the right side. Going into the wood line, but there's some units to defend, and there's also those 2 town centers here. Finally the 3rd town center for StriKeR going up. In a nice position for a market line. StriKeR is on the attack, splitting up his units. And Carnage is going straight to H4 actually. Oh, that's amazing. Usually we see players transition into some bowman type units, but I think he's maybe going straight for champions. I think that's what his plan is. And champions are pretty good anti-infantry units. They have a lot of anti-infantry armor. So very exciting. Let's see what StriKeR's plan is with this raid. Oh, he's going for the building damage right, and he's going for the town center. Oh my god. 50% more damage against buildings, and he is able to snipe this town center, but losing a lot of units at the same time. It cost him like, I think it's going to cost him all his 40 longswordsmen that he had here. Is that worth it, chat? I'm not sure. And everything's looking like Carnage is going for the champions. Could get a few more of these Barthol upgrades, but he has most of them. He's getting H4 melee attack. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. He's going to suicide some of these longswordsmen on the right side. Once again shutting down this gold mine for like the third time this game. StriKeR is pushing in 89 longswordsmen. And this is actually an unlucky timing for Carnage. He decides to run back with his raiding force. He's getting some very nice upgrades in the barracks that H4 offers. StriKeR pushing in here, the flanks coming in. Oh, Carnage actually making some more longswordsmen. Okay. Never mind, looks like it's just longswordsman spam. Massive engagement here. 75 longswordsmen for Carnage against the 83 for StriKeR. Where are druids for StriKeR though? There's a few of them. I think once again a very equal trade. This fight happens just before all the H4 upgrades happen. Or the H4 upgrades kick in for Carnage. Carnage adding some fortresses. And if you can make some stone throwers from these fortresses, that would also be pretty good against a lot of longswordsmen. I think Carnage has a lot of options for him right now to make a bunch of units that would be very good. And I don't think longswordsman is necessarily the best choice here. This raid on the right side is not doing much, and it looks like StriKeR is actually transitioning into a lot of stables. But here comes Carnage. He has the 4th town center, he's capped at 200 population, and he has all these H4 upgrades. Looks like we will have once again a big clash of longswordsmen, but this time around Carnage's army will be a lot more upgraded. What do you guys in the chat think? Would some champions be useful here for Carnage? I guess they are a bit slower than they would slow his entire army down. And now Carnage is in the market line of StriKeR. He's able to snipe some buildings and actually sniping these markets. And StriKeR currently doesn't have any villagers on gold, so this is his only source of gold. He has 86 longswordsman champion. It's insane numbers here. Carnage kind of distracting StriKeR here while he's able to snipe all these buildings on the right side. These longswordsmen fully upgraded deal so much damage. Look at how fast they kill those stables.
Glory to the Empire!
Sup guys? Thanks for the subscription. And oh my god, I think Carnage is winning this fight really hard. Yep, he is. StriKeR is doing the right, but the upgrades are just too big. Even though StriKeR got a nice concave there. His positioning was great, but it was all about the upgrades. GG! Carnage taking the 3rd game. So StriKeR on match point here. Yeah, very equal game. I think most of those trades with the longswordmen were very equal. Up until the very last point where Carnage was just able to go to edge 4 a bit faster than StriKeR. Get a few more upgrades. Everything is very equal here. The resources gathered. And just the traits here, the units killed and units lost. Slightly in favor of Carnage. Because we are 4 subscribers away from having a 3rd emoticon unlocked, or emoji. It's a good game, and I think that snipe of the market also helped a lot. Even though StriKeR only had 7 caravans, that was his only source of gold. He desperately went for this gold over here. It was too little, too late. He's also floating a lot of wood. I mean, longswordmen cost only food and gold, so you barely need any more wood. So very well played by Carnage. Going for only barracks. It's completely in his style, just massing one unit and making it work. Alright guys, so I'm gonna give the players a few minutes break. It's getting hot in here as well. So I will see you back in a bit with the 4th game.
Ahura Mazda bless you.
Right guys, we're back. StriKeR picked Great Lake and decided to go for his Celts again. And we're seeing Carnage go for the Babylonians, so very nice. I'm loving the Sith variety in this series so far. And yeah, we're here on Great Lake. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time that we see this map in this tournament. So not everyone in the organization agreed that this map should be in the map pool. I'm personally a big fan of this map, so I'm happy to see it being played at least once. So it's a very big map, and of course it has the water in the middle. And the small shallows on top, so you can walk over here, you can build a wall here. And then a big cliffy area in the south, where players usually like to build their markets, or I mean it's an important area to control. But you can also go for a market line from the shore over here, or in StriKeR's case over here. And StriKeR is actually going for a barrack, so usually the bigger the map is, the worse the spear rush strategy is. And Carnage very nicely scouting it, going for a barracks of his own. So what do you guys in the chat think of Great Lake? Is it a tournament worthy map? Or should this game have never happened? Carnage also rallying some villagers to gold. So you can make more than just a spearman with a starting gold. Because these Babylonian spearmen, they cost a lot of gold. 35. So with your starting gold, I think you can only make 4 of them. StriKeR is scouting around, checking if Carnage already made a dock. It's pretty difficult to spear rush a Babylonian player because they can just move their ox cart around, whereas a storehouse you can at least kill. Oh, and there's the dock actually. StriKeR did not scout it with a scout, but he will find it now. A very nice find here. And I think this villager won't be able to escape here. Yep, there it goes. This dock is also half finished. So that's 75 wood down the drain, or actually 100 wood. So nice nice rush so far by StriKeR. Looks like it will pay off. And there's only 2 spearmen here. Actually there was a spearman trying to defend from the looks of it. But StriKeR's spear count is a lot higher. Let's see what Carnage's plan here is. He's got the 2 villagers on stone. He's got 1 villager on gold. He's making some more spearmen. He can build a ziggurat right now and edge up. StriKeR in turn getting his dock up. So maybe that's what his game plan was. Be aggressive and make it so you can secure the water. Alright, so Carnage has no second hand. I think this is a second hand, right? So yeah, I'm not going to give Carnage here a restart because this is pretty close. Oops. I mean, StriKeR has the same situation, right? Nah, I don't think it's fair to give an admin or a restart here. I mean, there's always the barriers where you can go to. There's even some boars here in the back, which Carnage can kill with his spearman. Of course, it would be very nice for Carnage to be able to restart this game after having lost that villager. Losing another villager and a third one. Oh, I can already feel getting blamed after this game. Yeah, Eerie saying he could have passed. Yeah, and that's right. Carnage should have passed a bit earlier. He said he talked a minute ago. But even then, the restarts are only for the very first 2 minutes. I mean, that's plenty of time to scout your 2 hunts. So we're moving on. StriKeR sitting at 22 villagers to the 21 for Carnage. He's putting himself ahead. He's got the fishing boats. He's doing a very nice job patrolling with all sorts of spearmen around the shore. And Carnage is making his town center here. He will have access to these boars. So even though he has to go on berries right now, he has to get the upgrade. He has to hunt right after. So unlike the civs we saw before, or at least some of the civs, the Babylonians don't have an anti-infantry unit in the barracks, so Carnage is forced to build an archery range to defend against these spearmen. And StriKeR's made a lot of spearmen. Back at home he's getting up his own town center. He's getting handsaw, very nice. So Carnage is pretty confined to his base right now. If you look at the minimap, even his scout doesn't dare to track further than here. StriKeR very nicely expanding on the water. So in the event that Carnage does make a dock, he has 2 docks for his own to pump out lots of swan ships. And actually making a 3rd dock right here. I'm loving this place. You could go for a merchant transport route to get some gold maybe. Not sure if that would be good from there to from over here to here. Probably be nice. And there's the first gardens for Carnage. So a very strong building for the Babylonian civilization. Reducing the training time and the research time. And you can already get up to 12% reduction in just H2. And I think this would have been the perfect situation also for Carnage to get hunting dogs. He only has a limited amount of food. And he could really use that conservation here on those boars. Let's see what StriKeR has been doing. Is open double barracks. Now adding some archery ranges. He just sent in a scout. Let's see what he found out actually. He saw the stables and the archery range. So a nice scouting information. He does not know about the 2nd town center being all the way in the back there. There he goes, he's pushing in. He's 18 spearmen, he's getting spearman champion right now, very smart. But he does not have any forces back at home to defend, so these lancers that Carnage is sending around. Let's see where they could attack. There's a undefended woodline here, there's the hunt over here. But StriKeR really has Carnage surrounded. Carnage actually going to H3 right now. I don't think, yeah, it won't be long until he runs out of food, and I think that's really going to be a problem. The lancers are coming in. There are some reinforcing spearmen here. Because StriKeR has the champion upgrade, we have a 4.4 multiplier against cavalry. But still, lancers also deal bonus damage to infantry, so you will need a few more. StriKeR moving in on the other side of the map. I was just about to say that I was watching some of the games from yesterday back today, and I noticed that Carnage did not get pharmacology, even though he always argues that it's a very strong upgrade. So I'm happy to see him get this upgrade now. I think it's a very strong upgrade as well. So we will be able to heal these lancers back up to full over time. Yeah, Creaky saying finally actually making archery. Yeah, I think that was the game actually where he didn't make the archery. He probably lost because of it. But StriKeR's army count is growing, man. Looks like Carnage plan is to go mass Lancer. Going for the charge attack. Lancer champion. StriKeR going up to the third edge as well. Let's see what he's going for. He's adding some more archery ranges. So no stables, but going for archery ranges. Very interesting. And we're reaching the point where Carnage has to move out of his base to go for food. Here we can see the pharmacology in action. Lancers healing up very slowly. And the fact that Carnage has all these fast moving lancers will really be an advantage on this pretty big map. I mean, 3 lancers were okay to defend, but how about 16? StriKeR is moving in himself though. And, Lancers are not home to defend, so this position, there's so many villagers here, 29 villagers, and they may all have to run. And this is quite crucial for Carnage, this position. Deciding to fight here. It's not doing too bad actually. And oh my god, he's cleaning this up. And at the same time, the Lancers are moving in on the other side of the map. StriKeR does have some reinforcements here, but the Lancers are doing so much charge damage to these spearmen. Just going in for the charge. And then returning. Right, so Carnage just cleaned this up, but I think there was still a lot of economic damage there. Yeah, StriKeR now 15 villagers ahead actually. Transitioning to a lot of horsemen stables. Very nicely securing this position. He also built a dock on this side. There's still spearmen patrolling. So StriKeR still has some very nice map control. Yeah, he's going for some watch posts here on the south. I like it. Carnage is regrouping all his army here in the north. 26 lancers. There's also some mounted archers already mixed in to counter these horsemen. The wall is not finished. Let's see what StriKeR's army looks like. So 8 horsemen here. Yes, 35 bowmen. No druids yet. Yeah, he really needs a sacred grove, I think. Carnage finally a dock on the top. Shutting that down, very nice. Let's see if he decides to make a dock of his own now. Would like to see a water battle. Kind of disappointed by last game's water battle. It's kind of anticlimactic how it happened. So even though the wall was not finished, it's still doing its job. StriKeR's moving in with those horsemen on the other side though. Still pressuring this position. But Carnage is very nicely moved out to the top side. There's lots of food here. Finally found a second hunt. Let's see how many gardens he has. He has the 6 now. Very nice. Some armory going up for StriKeR. In the meantime, Carnage cleaning up all these docks. Looks like StriKeR did not really produce a lot of fishing boats though. Would have liked to see him build a lot more fishing boats when he had the whole water. Maybe just one swan ship to defend them as well. StriKeR still 20 villagers ahead, and he can actually go to H4. Both players are maxed now, and that does mean that Carnage's army is a lot bigger. There's 32 lancers here. There's no more spearmen, only just the 5. This part of Great Lake is always a bit difficult to pass with all the choke points. And I think this choky landscape kind of favors StriKeR here, because he has the bowman ball. Carnage is going around the top, but StriKeR can just scout a little bit his dock. So StriKeR plays this right, he can fight it in the choke, and there's not going to be enough surface area for Carnage. That's a StriKeR getting barbed arrows. I think I'm feeling some carpentums coming. There's 5 stables here, 6 stables, 7 stables. He's gathering some gold. Needs a little bit more for that Carpenton champion upgrade. But is Carnage going to wait that long? StriKeR's army very out of position, way on the other side of the map, so actually going for horseman champion. I like it because he already has the 12 horsemen. Smart decision. Both players kind of equal on army upgrades. There's still quite a lot of units for Carnage here to defend. Still 20 villagers down, so 20 army up. What is back at home for StriKeR to defend? It's 5 horsemen. He is having a very nice push here though. At the same time, this is not really a nice position, I think. He's not really denying much here of Carnage's economy. Sitting in range of this town center. There's the training time right. StriKeR will be able to pump out a lot more of these horsemen. But there are 7 mounted archers here though. Carnage now hitting H4 as well himself. Let's see what he will decide to go for. Total war, of course. This is a massive upgrade. So both players switching to H4 tech. And then this is going to be still a difficult army for StriKeR to clean up, I think. He has to back off. Carnage trading very nicely here. There are Carpentons on the field, but no Carpenton champion yet. I think StriKeR just should sell some of that wood and food and get Carpenton champion as soon as possible. Because there's also an attack coming on the top side. StriKeR rebuild his markets here on the other side. Carnage really pulling apart StriKeR here with the multi-pronged raids. Oh, the Augur actually came along here, so this entire army is moving at 6 speed. Oof. Starting to look better and better for Carnage. I feel his market line is getting shut down again. StriKeR just not able to afford Carpeton Champion. He's getting this horseshoe upgrade, which is very nice. He does have the Horseman Champion. But I mean, an H4 Babylonian player with all those gardens. He's got a market line now as well. That's very scary. Let's see how much he's getting. 34. Okay, that's not so scary at all. Again, sniping the market of StriKeR. Yeah, for the last few minutes it seemed that Carnage was also always one step ahead of StriKeR. He's just going for mass lancers right now, and it's basically mass horsemen. So Carnage, I think he needs to add in a few more mounted archers. Actually, he does have a lot more numbers just right here, so I think counter units will not matter as much. There are some more horsemen coming in, but I think StriKeR should have waited there until his entire army was together. He's down 50 population right now. Just making more horsemen. Carnage only one army upgrade ahead, which is the melee damage one. Once again, these caravans go idle. I think the markets are being built again on the other side of the map. The wall has been repaired. There's still some gold here as well. Oh my god, Carnage just has so many units. So StriKeR once again will have to split his units to defend on both sides. Actually, it looks like he's sending all his units to the top. Finally, there's the Carpeton Champion for StriKeR. I think he's able to stabilize a little bit here. Or is he? Mounted Archer Champion in queue for Carnage. Looks like all units in the map will converge in this one place here. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, Carnage is doing a really nice job just running around StriKER's base, and yeah, I think StriKER, he could have used a few more walls, maybe a few more defenses, maybe some towers, maybe a fortress. Maybe a fortress over here would have done very nicely to defend. All his caravans are dying, and it's starting to look better and better for Carnage. StriKER down to 59 villagers. I think Carnage will take the third place here, maybe. So maybe good to note the third place winner gets $65 and the fourth place gets $35. So that's what these guys are playing for. And of course the honor. And another important thing is that whoever wins this match or this series is likely to get the third seed for the next tournament, for the Roman tournament, which means that they get to play easier opponents in the early stages of the Roman tournament, which is always nice. But StriKeR is not out yet. I'm not trying to pull a Pharaohs here and call GG early. Carnage is doing such a good job just having StriKeR run around with his horsemen. And even though there's 3 markets here, they just might all go down. StriKeR is doing a nice job with the damage right. He's cleaning up these units. He's remaking the villagers from 4 town centers. Actually from 3 town centers. He's down to 38 villagers. Oh, I don't see how StriKeR can recover from this. But he is making a lot of army now. And he might just pull a Carnage here. And just attack with 1 massive army. Should get these in the mix as well. I don't think Carnage is gonna let him. Just gonna run around units all game long. This is actually a nice position for the Lancers. They have a small range, which is quite a benefit here, I would say. Prodigy is asking, is this the final? No, this is the 3rd place match. Right after this series, we will switch to Sahib, who will cast the finals. So you guys wouldn't want to miss that. So the markets are up again, but I don't think it's for long. StriKeR's going to do something back, finally. Pushing in here. And this is a nicely looking army for StriKeR. 17 Carpenters with splash damage. We'll make quick work of these mounted archers. And I actually like this position for StriKeR. Having the Carpenters in the front. Maybe it's not the best. But at least they are tanking the damage from the mounted archers, as opposed to the horsemen tanking them. And the 35 route market line is being destroyed. Is StriKeR pulling it off? He's sitting at 120 population. And look at Carnage's gold. He has 0 gold. He's selling gold now. There's only 2 markets here. If StriKeR manages to snipe these markets, then Carnage can sell his resources. There are some units again in the base of StriKeR though, who's now at 23 villagers. I mean, this is one of the last armies that StriKeR can make, I think. Nicely microing the Carpenters on top of the mounted archers. But, I think Carnage is cleaning this up here. And that's it. GG. Carnage taking the series 3-1. Alright, so GG. So let me quickly check with Sahib, Erie and Zertan. So the plan is that Sahib goes live right after this, so there's a smooth transition, so don't go anywhere, guys. Let me first check if they are here. Right, so let's take a quick look at these stats. Yeah, Carnage is doing such a nice job running around with his units. That's of course not reflected in the chat, in the stats. Alright, so it looks like everything is set for the next series. Take a quick look at what happened here. Yeah, so StriKeR once again in this series having a bigger economy, but this time around he wasn't able to take this series or take the game. Both players very equal in resources gathered. And attacks. Let's check the final army upgrades. I think in the end, yeah, Carnage pulling ahead in the army upgrades in the end as well. He's just doing such a nice job and killing so many villagers. StriKeR down to 18 villagers at some point. That's amazing. Yeah, and I think StriKeR could have done a better job here with making some more fishing boats. I mean, at this stage of the game, he was slightly ahead in villagers, but could have been ahead a bit more, I think. Alright, so GG. Carnage taking the 3rd spot in the tournament. StriKeR ending 4th place. Maybe next time in the bronze match when they meet again, StriKeR can take the series.